For each one of these expressions that we have here, we're going to do three things. We're going to say whether or not this is a polynomial. We're going to say, if it is, what the degree of the polynomial is. And then also, if it is, we're going to name it as either a monomial, a binomial, or a trinomial. So we've already learned previously what a monomial is, and a monomial is a single term, and we separate terms with pluses and minuses. So a polynomial is a series of terms separated by just pluses and minuses. And so when we look at these four expressions, hopefully right away you can identify the monomial, and that is the 26b squared. So 26b squared is a polynomial, and specifically it's a monomial because it has one term. Mono means one. Now, the thing that we haven't talked about is what's referred to as the degree of the polynomial. And very simply, a polynomial's degree is the sum of the exponents of the term with the, what's a good way to say this, with the highest exponents, the most exponents. I'm sure somebody somewhere has got like a mathy definition of this, but you're looking at each term in the polynomial and you're just adding up the exponents to see which one's the highest. So in a monomial, that's really easy because we only have one term. This is 26b to the square, b to the squared, derp. 26b to the second power, or 26b squared, is just one term. So let's add up the exponents here on all of our variables. And we just got one here. We've got b squared. So we would refer to this polynomial as being a second degree, or degree 2. So the full name of this kind of polynomial, if we wanted to name him, we would call him a second degree monomial. Okay, so it's a second degree monomial. So let's go back and let's look at the rest of these. We don't have any more monomials because everything else we have has got pluses and minus signs in it. So let's go to the next smallest one we have, which is this 6x minus 4. So 6x minus 4 has got two terms. One of our terms is this 6x here, and the other term is the minus 4. They're separated by a minus sign, so we've got two terms, and having two terms makes this a binomial. Bi is the prefix for 2. So this is called a binomial because it has two terms. And now the question is, what is the degree of this binomial? So since we have two terms, we need to know what is the sum of the exponents on the variables in each term. Now I keep emphasizing on the variables because the constants, of course, are always going to have an exponent of 1, so we don't really count the constants, we just look at the variables. So 6x has a variable of x, which has this little invisible exponent of 1. So the degree of this first term is 1, and the degree of this second term is 0, because 4 doesn't have an exponent. So our first term has a degree of 1, our second term has a degree of 0. The biggest degree any term has is 1, so this is a first degree. The term that has the largest degree is 1, so we would call this a first degree binomial. Okay, let's look at the one right next to it. This guy right here. This one's got three terms. X squared is a term, 2xy is a term, and then the minus 7 is a term. Okay, so we've got 1, 2, 3 terms, and so this is called a trinomial, tri being the prefix for 3. So a trinomial because it has 3 terms. Oh, I'm just realizing I wrote that in green and I wrote the other ones in blue. All of my type A people are going to be upset that I changed colors. Sorry about that, type A people. So this is a trinomial because it has 3 terms. And so let's see if we can figure out the degree here. The first one has an exponent of 2, so our first term, that x squared, is a degree 2. This second term is also a degree 2. We've got x to the first power and y to the first power. So our total of our exponents is 2. The x has a first power and the y has a first power, so a total of 2. And then, of course, our minus 7 here doesn't have a variable, so degree 0. So our highest degree of any individual term is 2. So this guy is a second degree. And so the name of this polynomial is a second degree trinomial. So we've got one guy left. Let's go take a look at him, and it's the 14d plus 19e cubed over 5d to the fourth. And believe it or not, this is our only one that is not a polynomial. And you may be looking at this and thinking, what do you mean it's not a polynomial? It's got a 14d and a 19e cubed. It's absolutely a polynomial. What are you talking about? It's got a plus sign. We've got these two terms here. And the reason it's not a polynomial is because a polynomial cannot have division of a variable. You'll notice that none of our other polynomials we had, let me zoom out so we can see them all, are monomial, binomial, and trinomial. None of them had variables in a denominator, and this one does. And that's what makes it not a polynomial, because we have a variable in the denominator. If you divide by a variable, that prevents it from being a polynomial. So this is the only one that isn't. If it was a polynomial, it would be degree 4, because we've got d to the fourth in the bottom, but we don't name the degree of this one because it's not a polynomial. So out of these 4 examples, we have 3 that are polynomials and 1 that is not, because if you've got a variable in the denominator, it's not a polynomial. Must be addition and subtraction only.